Hey guys, welcome to a very special episode, and in this video I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that I use to wash my car. Now, some of you are probably thinking, washing a car, how hard could it be? Well, if you want the car to look nice and shiny and preserve that look, it's more than just getting rid of dirt off your car. There are important steps that you can take to make sure that you don't scratch your car, damage your paint while you're doing it, right? So in this video, I'm going to take you step by step and show you some of my favorite products to use from XPEL, and I'll give you some tips and tricks to make sure that you also enjoy your cleaning process, right? So let's kickstart some B-roll to see how dirty this car is. Let's go. Alright guys, we're going to start the cleaning process, and the first thing you do before you even clean your car is do a quick inspection and get a rough idea what you're dealing with. Okay, so in this condition, my car hasn't been cleaned for 4 weeks. Rain, mountain roads, daily driving it, so the car is really dirty. I know you can't really see it on camera because it's silver, it has PPF and coating, so it really just looks extra glossy, but if you look up close, it's really dirty in person, okay? So let's talk about the next step then. After you inspect your car, you determine how dirty your car is. The next thing you want to do is to first clean your rims and your wheels. This is the first step. Now why is that? Because this is the dirtiest part of your car, okay? You don't want to be cleaning your body first, and then you start cleaning this and all the dirt goes back onto the body, right? So you want to first deal with all 4 of the rims, okay? There's some processes we're going to go through together over here. Now, one of the mistakes people do when you clean your rims is to go at it while it's still hot. Okay, so make sure that the rims are cool, means cold enough for you to touch the brakes, it doesn't burn your hands. That's a good indication you're ready to wash the car, right? And I'm going to walk you through some of the tools, but first and foremost, protection. Gloves and mask, all right? The thing is, you don't want to get all these chemicals into our body, you don't want to get chemicals on our hands and stuff, so please protect yourself. This is a very little money to spend, but has long-term ROI, okay? I'm going to put my mask on later. Let's talk about some of the other tools that we're going to use, okay? We'll talk about the chemicals first. First, it's good to have some multi-purpose cleaner, okay? I'm going to show you how to use it on the tires. Get some of your favorite shampoo. You know, in this case, I'm using XPEL's wash solution. And then you want to put some solution into the water bucket as well. And then, of course, you need some iron oxide remover, especially when you have steel brakes. Now, for the tools, you need a bucket. You can see this bucket is a bit old. I like to down-use my older buckets to clean tires. And first of all, most important, you need a wash mitt. Now, you want to get a mitt that you can put your hand in so you can go behind the rims. We'll talk about that later on. And then you want to have a little brush stick like this. I don't know what you call this, but you can go into the little edges behind there. Again, I always use older brushes for the rims, and just want a cloth. I'm going to show you how to use them all, right? So with that, I want to prepare all of this, and then we're going to start cleaning these rims. Mask on now. Alright, so first step you want to do is you want to rinse up your rims first, okay? Now if you don't have a power washer like this, a hose would do as well, okay? Alright, if you have a power washer, what I like to do is that I like to get behind the tires, especially behind the tires, because that's where all the mud comes up. And this black plastic can turn color or brown, and it does affect the overall look. So I like to get my power washer in here, get a nice angle. Alright. And just rinse it all off. Right now, we've got the rims rinsed out as much as possible. It looks clean, but it's still pretty dirty, okay? So what you want to do first is you want to make sure you clean your rubber. This is often a step that most people miss. And what happens is that when you don't clean the rubber, it'll start to have some brownish oxidation looking like thing. And no matter how much you dress your rims, it will just keep popping back out, right? So you're going to use a multi-purpose cleaner, whichever that you like, get into a good dilution, and just get them all across your rubber, okay? I like to let it sit for a little bit and let it work. And I sometimes like to also get behind onto the black trims and make sure we can get those dirt out. Okay, now once this is done, I'm going to use XPEL's iron oxide remover. Right, this is going to help me break down all the brake dust so that it can come out before you go into cleaning. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure that you spray, but you can do it in a misting fashion so it goes everywhere. And I typically like to hit the upper side because it will eventually flow down anyways, so I don't use too much of the product, you know, and I want to use it in little tight areas. Just a little squirt, not too much, and onto the brake calipers as well. What we're going to do, we're going to let this sit for roughly around 2 minutes, and then we're going to rinse this off and then start the cleaning process. Okay. Alright, so the chemical's working right now. You can see all the purple stuff coming out. That's the iron breaking down the brake dust. And what we're going to do now, before we go and do some contact wash, is to get rid of them so we don't scratch the rims. Alright, so now we can go and do some contact wash, okay? Again, it looks clean, but really, if you look at it, I know mine gloves are black, but it is still quite a lot of dust on it, right? So I like to use some foam shampoo on it because, again, you can induce scratches on your rims, believe it or not, right? And you do want to have some shampoo not only to pull out the dirt, but also to help you lubricate as you go through the process, okay? So in this case, I'm using a hand foamer. I'm going to just shoot it across. Make sure you get in on top again. Make sure those things get into the crevices. All right. And I also like to still go around the rubber bits and also the back because I'm going to address that. Okay. Especially when your car hasn't been cleaned for weeks. All right. So first thing I like to do is use the little brush and get into the tight areas first. Now, because my car, again, with consideration, hasn't been cleaned for weeks, there should be quite a lot of brake dust to remove in the small crevices. So what I like to do is let's spray a little bit of the iron oxide remover onto the tip of the brush, a little bit on areas which I think are hard to get, just like the wheel locks, for example. And I'm going to just start with the small areas first. Already you can see there's still quite a lot of dirt in there. Okay, so I'm just going to work it up. You want to make sure that you get rid of all the tight spots first. You address all of the tight spots, especially when you've got spokes. Those of you who got fancy spokes, good luck to you. You don't want to leave any brake dust residue because those things can etch into your rim and it can change the color and the look of the rim. And it's just horrible if you don't address it sooner than later, right? If you find anything stubborn, you can just use, again, the iron oxide remover, and you can just shoot it in there, in those tough spaces, and give it a little bit of a abrasion, a little bit of a scrub to get those things out. Next up, we're going to use this long stick brush. I don't know what you call it, but I call it wheel mitt, right? And you want to make sure that you get behind the rims, and you want to make sure you do a little abrasion because, again, we don't want to have any brake dust left over. It's going to etch into your paint, and you might not care because you can't really see it, but as an overall, you can see that there'll be some matte etching behind the rims, and it just looks horrible, And especially if you've got a beautiful rim like this one, it's a special edition. You want to make sure that you keep it nice and preserve its looks. Okay. Now once you're done with that, take your wash mitt. And why I like a glove is because you have to get behind the spokes, which sometimes a conventional mitt will have difficulty getting to do so. And especially for rims, most of them have got complex structures. This will let you really get behind the brake calipers and just, in between, and just scrub it all out, right? And look, if you see the color here, it's still a bit brownish, so there's still some dirt left over. I'll work through all the spokes. And last but not least, you can either use your wash mitt or you can have a brush, and I like to go through all the rubber to make sure it's ready and clean for the dressing later on. Whew, okay guys, the rims are now all clean and we're going to move on to the body. Now, if you are wondering you're going really slow because you take 20-30 minutes to clean your rims, that's absolutely normal. And the good news is that once you're done with your rims, that's approximately half of your car cleaning done, right? So don't be afraid if you're going to spend 20-30 minutes Again, depending on how complicated your rims are, and also how dirty your rims are, and also how clean you want your rims and tires to be, right? So now that's done, and we're gonna move on to the body, okay? So there are a few steps in the body. I don't go straight to shampoo, which sometimes a lot of amateurs do. I'm gonna first rinse down the body, put on some pre-wash foam shampoo, and then rinse it off, and then come with a hand wash. I'm gonna explain to you why as we go through this process, right? So let's go. Okay guys, now we're going to start foaming up the car. Now this is an optional step which do take a little bit of time, but in my opinion, if you really love your car, you want to make it look nice and shiny, it's something worth doing, okay? So here we have XPEL's foam soap, and I'm really excited about this product because, XPEL hasn't had a shampoo till lately. I'm happy to have the formula right now. Use it pretty nice, okay? So this is a pre-wash shampoo. What it means is that you want to soak the car in this shampoo before you rinse it off and then go into your hand contact wash. And why I think this step is important is because your car have a lot of dirt on it, right? Could be brake dust, could be anything, okay? And if you don't remove them or soften them, what will end up happening is that when you do your contact wash, you can scratch your car. So the foam soap or the pre-foaming stage, what it does is you spray this on, and this formula will help you soften the dirt, and also because of the weight of the soap, it's going to pull it all out, and then it's going to pull it away from the car. So when you contact wash later, there'll be less dirt to get swirled around, or if there is still dirt on, most of it will be softened, okay? So this is the XPEL's foam soap. Okay guys, so the foam has been on the car for 3 to 4 minutes. This is about time for us to rinse it all off. And in between that, you can actually use a brush to go to all the nooks and crannies to loosen all the dirt. But if you don't have a brush, I want to show you a little trick that you don't require that, and in my opinion, probably work much better around the emblems. But let's get the foam off and then let's start getting to work. Alright, so now we're done with the pre-wash phase. We're ready to do some contact wash with the car. This will leave your surface really, really clean. So for this, typically people use 2 buckets. They have a rinse bucket and a wash bucket. Now, I have a different way to do this, and I only have 1 bucket, and I actually have the grit guard inside this bucket, okay? And the reason I have this is because I'm using the microfiber method, which in my opinion is a better method, and you'll see why. Not only you save on work with 2 buckets and stuff, but it's actually going to have less chance to reintroduce dirt onto your car. But first and foremost, your rinse bucket must always have a grit guard. I stress this, grit guard. Okay, so I usually use 2 to 3 for my car. As you can see, the Alpine is pretty small, so 2 is just enough. I'm going to chuck them right in, okay? And right now, I got all my microfiber towels in here. I'm going to just put in some XPEL's wash solution, right? So different than the foam wash solution, that's for the foam gun. This one is for contact wash, okay? So if you don't have a foam gun at home, you can just use this right here. It works just nice, all right? So once I get some of it in here, what I like to do is that, you want to get your wash mitt and your microfiber towel, you want to swirl it around, make sure that the product gets into your tools, okay? And now we're ready to do some contact wash. I'm going to show you how to use a microfiber towel, and let's have some fun. I'm going to foam this up right now. Alright, so here's how you're going to use the microfiber method, and the reason why I prefer this is because these microfiber towels are one use only. Not that you use and throw away, but use and wash it, okay? See, because when you are cleaning your car, you might be picking up dirt, well, you will be picking up dirt with your mitt or microfiber towel, okay? So that's why I prefer it to be one use. Once I pick it up, I don't want it to go back in the bucket and have a chance of it coming back, or maybe some of it still here and stuff. So what I do is I segment my microfiber towels into different parts, okay? So first I fold it into 1/4, and I just done with the roof and the windscreen. So that's picked up quite a lot of dirt. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around and use the other side on my hood. And each surface only has one time usage. And after that, I'm going to flip it around again, and once I'm done with all the sections, I put this microfiber towel aside and get a new one. So in that way, I don't reintroduce dirt onto the car. It's all in the microfiber towel. It goes into the washing machine. Okay, since we're here, I want to explain the two functions of having shampoo on your car, right? So the first function is to actually remove dirt, right? Because some of the formulation has softeners, has chemicals that can break down dirt, and that helps you clean your car. But the other function of a soap is actually to provide lubrication. See, when you do contact wash like this, whether you're using a mitt or using a microfiber like me, we're introducing friction to the car. And the last thing we want to do is to actually cause micro swirls. And this swirls is not something you can see immediately, but collectively over time, 10, 15, 20 washes, 1 year, you start seeing holograms and flares coming out onto your car. And especially when your car is black color or dark color, it becomes really obvious. And you want to avoid that. And how do we avoid that? As I said earlier, if you have cleaning steps done properly, like a pre-foam, using clean wash mitts, double buckets, or using single-use microfiber towels like this, you tend to remove the chances of, or reduce the chances of swirling your cars and doing micro scratches around your cars. Okay? So back to the microfiber towel situation. Okay? Some people may argue you want to foam it before you contact. Yes, you can do that, but I think my car is not too dirty anymore after the pre-foam wash. I think most of that is off, and then I got quite a lot of lubrication over here, so I can just go ahead and clean up the car, right? So let me get back to work and make sure my Alpine looks nice and shiny. Alright, so if you don't have a brush, or like me, you've tried the brush method on the emblems and stuff, and you still found dirt stuck behind it. That's my experience. I realized that brushes may not do the job sometimes. Some dirt are really crusty, especially the car has been 4 weeks not being washed. There's some crusty bits between my Alpine, right? So what I would like to do is to introduce a little bit more friction or a little bit more abrasion. I like to do that with using the edge of the microfiber towel. I'll go between and underneath all the emblems like so to really get in there. And I find that that's something a brush can't do. And some brushes, because they are stiff, they can induce scratches on the side of the logos, and I don't want that. Right? I found the microfiber towel to be more gentler and more effective. Right? So this is a tip you can use instead of using your brush, especially when it's very, very dirty. Okay, so what you want to do again is to be consistent with an up and down motion, no circular motion, right, to avoid inducing some crazy swirls onto your car, okay? And remember, whether you're using a wash mitt or microfiber towel, okay, treat your car gently, love it, stroke it, don't do that, right? Love your car, give it a little bit of sayang, okay? Alright, so all sides of my microfiber towel is used. I'm never going to use this again until it's washed and clean for the next round, okay? So I put it on the side, and now I take my new fresh microfiber towel. I'm going to put as much foam as possible for lubrication. And voila, see? Nice clean surface, no need to reintroduce and have 2 buckets to do all of that, right? Alright guys, I'm going to perform a magic trick for you, okay? And this is called drying your car using water. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but this is the case. You can actually do it, right? So what people mostly would do is that now that the car is all rinsed off of its shampoo, you take a dry cloth and wipe down the car. But I don't like to do that. What I like to do is get myself a little bit of a bucket, just a little bit of water, and with some splash of water, you can remove a lot of the water beads, and then it just helps you dry the car much faster, right? So take a look. Magic. All right, so this is XPEL's water spot remover. Now, we don't use this all the time, but for my car's sake, this has been under the sun, under the rain, under the sun, under the rain, multiple times. So I can assume there'll be mineral buildup on my car, right? So typically I don't do this if it's a weekly wash. This is something I would do akin to maintenance wash, and of course, again, depending on the usage and depending how long you haven't washed it, okay? So this is going to help remove some water spots. It is safe to be used on your car, but there are specific instructions. Now, first of all, you've got to dry up your car, okay? So this is semi-dry. And what you want to do is give it a nice gentle shake. Never use this under the sun, by the way, because this is acidic. And just sort of mist it over here. And what you want to do is that let it sit for roughly around 30 to 45 seconds. And you should put on your mask, not like me, like this. And after it's really reacting with the minerals, you want to remove it. And it's very important that you remove it and don't leave it dwelling too long, because it's acidic and it can corrode your ceramic coating or even your clear coat, okay? And also your plastic bits on your car. I'm just going to use a clean microfiber cloth, do a pass. Typically, I like to go with a second pass. Now, this is very important because if you do have minerals etched onto your coating, it does reduce the hydrophobicity. It does also etch onto your coating on your clear coat, and it also robs your car of that nice glossy look. Okay, so this is an important step to make sure your ceramic coating or your exterior of the car looks nice and shiny. All right, down to the final phase of cleaning up the body. We're going to dry up the car. Okay, and for this, you need a couple of microfiber cloth, clean ones like this, and what I use is the detail spray. Okay, so the detail spray can be used on a dry surface just to give it a little bit of a gloss or pick up some dirt. But I like to use it in the drying process as a aid to help, to help dry up the car faster. It also provide some lubrication. So when I go past my car, I don't scratch it all up, and it leaves a nice gloss in the end of it as well, right? So we're gonna go like so, all right? Make sure you buff it up nicely. Okay, that's for the windscreen. And we're gonna do the same for the body. Again, don't do that, okay? It's like your skin, be gentle. Wish I can say the same for my actual skin. Alright guys, the car is now nice and dry for the most bits, and it's nice and glossy because of the detail spray. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the importance of this product over here. Other than it being a drying aid like I use, it can also be used after you clean your car to add a little bit of gloss. And if you find some areas there's some dirt on it, you can just put some some of this detail spray, lubricate it, and pick up the dirt, right? So that helps you take that little bit last 5% to just clean up everything up on your car, right? While protecting with lubrication. And the third reason why I think this is a very good product to have in your car is that whenever you go, whether it's a road trip, maybe it's to your office, and if you get some bird poop, this will come really handy together with some microfiber towel. Again, you can just spray it on, let it dwell a little bit, let it soften up the dirt, and then you can scoop the dirt right up, okay? Now, it's not the most ideal, but it's better than having those stuff corrode onto your car, right? So I call the detail spray as something that I must have with all my cars with a microfiber towel. Okay, so now it's time to dry the tires. You can use a microfiber towel like I'm doing so. Again, I like to reuse this as an old towel for this dirty parts, okay? You don't want to, again, this is the last part you want to do because you don't want to reintroduce the dirt here by drying this and then drying that, okay? So, as you can see, it's nice and clean and dry, but I want to spend some time to highlight not only the rims part, but also the rubber part, the tire part. Okay, this is very important. Now, there's a thing called framing, as I've learned from Buff Daddy and also Ammo NYC, Larry, and they talk about framing, which is the black parts of the car. If it's nice, clean, and consistently black, it produces a really nice frame for the rest of the car. Think of it like a picture frame, right? So in order to achieve this nice and black look, you have to do a step that I shown earlier during the tire cleaning process, right? So what do? I use multi-purpose cleaner to really remove the dirt from here and also the previous tire dressing. A lot of people miss that step. So when they put on tire dressing, After 2-3 days, 4-5 days, it starts turning brown again because the part underneath is not removed. Think of it like your skin. If you haven't removed the dirt, why are you putting moisturizer on top of the dirt? You're just sealing more dirt into the tires, right? So you can use your tire mitt with multi-purpose cleaner, or you can use a wash mitt. You can just scrub it and remove with multi-purpose cleaner. And now it's nice and black. You can feel that it's nice and matte, okay? And it's ready for the tire dressing application. Let's go. Okay, so now the tire dressing is on for a couple of minutes. What I like to do is use a dry microfiber towel, and this is what I like to do personally, is to start removing the excess tire shine or tire dressing, okay? Some people like the wet look, but in my opinion, a matte look makes the car look nicer, right? It's too obvious, it's too shiny, it just look kind of weird, right? So what I'm gonna do is just gently buff off the tire dressing, and you should leave behind a nice matte shine to it. Okay, not a nice glossy shine, but a nice matte shine. Just look at that. Look nice and fresh, right? So that is probably the last step I'm gonna do for my car's exterior, and let's get some nice B-rolls going to see how my car looked before and after, especially the rims, and do a little summary of this video over here. So there you have it, guys. Those are the step-by-step process to not only clean my car, but also to make sure that it's nice and glossy with minimal damage, so it's nice and appetizing every time you see the car. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please help me hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. I do car vlogs, I explore some cars, I'm just a car guy, and of course, someone who loves his car, right? So check out my channel for more content like this. And I want to give a big shout out also to XPEL Malaysia. Thank you so much for letting us use your space to do this video. And of course, if you want to find out more about XPEL's Aftercare Products, there's a link in the description below. You can shop for all the products that I used. And of course, if you want to get your car protected with either with PPF, coating, window tints, or even window screen protector, that's one of the latest products, please check out XPEL Malaysia. In my opinion, I've been using different brands to protect my car. I never have been more satisfied than using XPEL's products. They are the best of the best that I've experienced for all my cars. That's why I always recommend them and use them for all my cars, alright? So check XPEL out, link in the description below, alright? So before I end this video, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions I didn't answer, please ask them in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. With that, again, love you guys. Thanks for watching again, and peace out. Keep it 100.